We about to live. Yeah, we about to shine. We about to live. Yeah, we about to grind. We about to live. Yeah, we about to shine. We about to live. Yeah, we about to grind. We about to live. Yeah, we about to shine. We about to live. Yeah, we about to grind. We about to live. Yeah, we about to shine. We about to live. Yeah, we about to grind.
Welcome back to Preacher Curls, guys. This is the channel where we don't just train the body, but we train the spirit. Because if we're being honest, the weight that we lift in here is nothing compared to the storm that we have to walk through out there. My name is Marvin Keon, and thank you guys so much for rocking with me today. And since we're talking about walking, today we're actually going to be diving into one of my favorite stories of the Bible, and it involves one of the disciples named Peter, and the moment he stepped out of a boat. Not because he was ready, but because Jesus said one word: come. And I believe that word isn't just permission, but it's also confirmation. That if God called you to it, you already have what you need to walk through it. So this episode is for every man that has been wrestling with fear, with self-doubt, with silence. After this episode, I hope that you're going to have a new understanding of what it actually means to walk in faith. I hope you're going to find strength in your center, not just physically, but also spiritually as well. And I hope that it's a reminder that even if you do sink, that God is always reaching. So if you're ready to dive in, let's hit a little chest. Let's tighten up our core. Let's tighten up our spirit. And let's step out of the boat. Let's go get it. All right, y'all know the deal. So we always start with a little bit of stretching. So we're gonna start with some pectoral stretches, get our chest nice and opened up. Gonna spend about 30 seconds here. Then we're gonna go down into a lunge with a thoracic rotation. I love these. Gets the whole body warmed up, gets that chest opened up, hips, lower back. Make sure you're taking deep breaths. Allow your body to just connect. Let the body know we got some exercise on the way. These have become a favorite of mine, a ski machine, great for shoulder mobility and getting that heart rate up right before I work out. Gonna finish up with some ring push-ups, focusing on that nice deep stretch. Again, taking big, deep inhales down, using that exhalation to get up out of there. All right, so I wanna actually get into the text first before we get into it. So if you're following along, if you wanna jot it down, today we're gonna be coming from Matthew 14, verses 28 through 31. I'm reading from the NLT version. Then Peter called to him, Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you walking on the water. Yes, come, Jesus said. So Peter went out over the side of the boat and walked on the water towards Jesus. But when he saw the strong wind and the waves, he was terrified and began to sink. Save me, Lord, he shouted. Jesus immediately reached out and grabbed him. You have so little faith, Jesus said. Why did you doubt me? Before we start beating down Peter, because Peter got out there and Peter got scared and Peter started to sink, I actually want to give Peter a lot of credit, because Peter did what most men will never do, which is take the first step. And let's keep it real. Most men never even ask like Peter did. They're going to stay in the boat because in the boat they got comfort, they got control, and they got other people with them that are also too afraid to do anything. But the truth about faith is that if you're going to have faith, faith will always call you away from the crowd. Faith will always call you away from the unfamiliar. And the best thing about Peter is that Peter by far was not perfect. But what he did have was the courage to take a step. And I believe that all of us have a boat. All of us have a comfort zone. All of us have a thing that we know we need to step out of, whether it be a relationship, or we know we need to step into this gym and start getting our health together so we can be better for our families, be better for the roles that we carry in this life, that we need to step out so that the gift that God gave us, we can actually use it. But we're continuously dodging that calling because we're so afraid to do the very first thing it takes to initiate faith, which is take the first step.
All right, so we're gonna start the workout with some bench press. It's not a time to be ego-driven. I like to focus on nice, controlled movements, making sure that I'm keeping my shoulders slightly squeezed back, my feet squeezed to the floor, no dancing feet. Focus on breathing. And if you do need a little help, it's always okay to ask for a spotter.
All right, point number 2, focus is fuel. Peter walked on water as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus. But the moment that he looked at the wind, the moment that fear took over, that's when everything went wrong. And that's how life hits us too. We're making progress, but then what happens? We get an unexpected bill. People start talking about us. And now we got self-doubt starting to creep in. So the enemy doesn't even necessarily have to sink you. He just needs to distract you. And in today's world, with everything that solicits our attention, that solicits our mind, that solicits our energy, all the time that we have to create and to walk into the purposes that God calls for us, if we're using that focus to fuel social media or fuel doubt or fuel fear, whatever you add that fuel to is going to grow. So whatever your thing is, focus. Keep your eye on what it is that God has called you to do and continue to walk towards it. No matter what people say, because people will talk, people will say you crazy for stepping out of this boat. People will say you don't know what you're doing. People will say you're not qualified. People will say, people are going to look at you, they're going to doubt you, they're going to try to cast some of their own fears on you. But your job is to just focus. Focus on the belief that Jesus gave you Jesus gave you confirmation. So it don't matter what's going on around you, you just got to continue to walk. You just got to continue to take steps and don't let everything around you take your eyes off what's really important.
All right, so now we're gonna get into some cable chest flies. I love these because great opportunity for you to just focus on tempo. You're gonna keep resistance on the pec the entire time because of the pull of the cable. So same way that you bring that weight down, you want to control it back in with the same tempo, keeping that muscle under tension the entire movement.
All right, point 3, this is so important. Please don't miss this. Come is confirmation. When Jesus said come, it was not just a response to a question. It was a revelation. Jesus wouldn't have told Peter to come just so he could sink. He told him to come because he knew that he had the ability to walk. That one word was like a green light from heaven. Because sometimes we're waiting for God to confirm what he's already called us to do. The very fact that he called you means that you have the resources and that you are equipped to do it. God's not going to call you into something that he hasn't already given you the grace to handle. But when he tells you to come, you have to go.
Now we're jumping into a machine chest press. Machines are great because, again, it just allows us to lock into our form. So we keep those shoulder blades pinched back, elbows at about a 45 degrees, and we're just matching our breathing with our movement. Keeping our movements nice and under control.
All right, point number 4, sinking does not mean that you fail. Peter sank, but immediately, Jesus reached out. He did not hesitate. So you stepping out doesn't mean you won't have moments of fear. Won't mean have moments where things don't go your way. It means that you trust him to catch you. And guess what? The other disciples, they stayed in the boat. They stayed dry, but they never got to say that they walked on water. So go out there, take that risk, do the thing that scares you. One of my favorite things about the gym is the whole concept is do the uncomfortable thing. Be okay with being uncomfortable. Be okay with failing. Being okay with trying to pick up a weight and maybe you don't hit that PR that day. Maybe you go out there and start that business and maybe you don't get any sales immediately. Never step into that gym If you never work on that business plan, if you never write the song, if you never write down any lyrics, you never even get to say you tried. The more that you give yourself volume, the more that you keep taking those steps, the more that you get out of that boat again and again and again. No matter how many times you sink, at some point you're going to continuously be able to put one foot in front of the other, because that failure is going to compound into more confidence, to more belief, to more experience. And now you, that person that did what everybody around you is just watching you doing, now while they're in the boat, dry, with no story to tell, but how they watch you go out there and fail and fail and fail. But guess what? They also will have to say that they watch you walk on water. Wrapping up my workout today with a little twist, finishing with some dumbbell incline chest press. Normally I wouldn't throw a free weight compound at the end of a session, but I'm feeling good and wanted to push it. If you're not an advanced lifter, I suggest swapping this out for a machine variation to keep it safe while still hitting the same muscle group. Finishing with some GHD Med Ball Sit-Ups. I don't do a ton of direct core work because we all know abs are really made in the kitchen. But these are fun, they light you up, and they're great for building explosiveness. Lock your feet in and keep your hips slightly forward on the pad. Lower under control until you feel a big stretch throughout your abs and drive up with power and control. So it's not about being perfect, but it's about having enough faith to leave that thing that's familiar. And listen, you may slip, you may sink, but if you said come, then that means that there's a way and that there's an expectation for you to get exactly where God has called you to go. So step out of that boat, don't be afraid, go get it. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Preacher Curls. My name is Marvin Keon. I hope today's message bless you. I hope that whatever that thing is, whatever your boat is, whatever that place of comfort that you have just been allowing yourself to reside in because you're so afraid to make that step, my encouragement for you today is to please take that step. It'll be the best decision you ever made. Until we do it again next time, guys, do not be good. Be great. God bless. Peace.